Getting it done right is a craft. It takes experience, the right material, and the right partner like Granger, with a wide range of professional-grade products. For the one, working hard means others can play even harder. Call, click Granger.com, or stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Satellite internet that's fast, reliable, and installed by professionals. For work, for play, for every day. Available anywhere you call home. Visit Viasat.com/internet now or call 833-8Viasat to sign up today.
With all the vitamins, and this stuff, I start every day feeling my best, ready to go.
He'll do this for hours.
The little thing we do, they love it.
Even in a political career that started with a racist conspiracy theory, what we saw from President Trump today was outrageous. The naked racism shared on his own account last night stands out even among the depths of social media. What differs tonight from other moments when the president has said, written, or shared racist or offensive things is the response coming from his own party. And given that response, it became quite clear inside the White House that their usual response of defiance or laughing it off wasn't going to work this time. Let me fill you in. Shortly before midnight, a video that was posted to the president's personal Truth Social account included this image at the end, depicting the Obamas as apes. Now, despite how obviously racist and ugly that is, and how many people quickly pointed that out, it would go on to be more than 12 hours before it was ultimately removed. Initially, we heard from the White House press secretary actually defending it. In a statement to CNN this morning, Caroline Leavitt said, quote, "This is from an internet meme video depicting President Trump as the king of the jungle and Democrats as characters from The Lion King." Leavitt said, "Please stop the fake outrage and report on something today that actually matters to the American public." But the backlash continued to grow, with Republicans condemning that post and calling on the White House to remove it, and some of them even saying that they should apologize. And shortly after her defense from Leavitt, it was actually taken down and removed from the president's pages. A senior White House official subsequently told CNN that a White House staffer erroneously made the post. And then this evening, while facing questions from multiple reporters on Netflix One about this, the president offered this explanation, but no apology.
I looked at it, I saw it, and I just looked at the first part. It was about voter fraud in someplace, Georgia. There was a lot of voter fraud, 2020 voter fraud. And I didn't see the whole thing. I guess during the end of it, there was some kind of that people don't like. I wouldn't like it either, but I didn't see it. I looked at the first part, and it was really about voter fraud and the machines, how crooked it is, how disgusting it is. Then I gave it to the people. Generally, they look at the whole thing, but I guess somebody didn't. They posted, and we took it down. But that was a voter fraud that nobody talks about. They don't like to talk about that post. We took it down as soon as we got it.
Shit hot.
People were criticizing it for hours.
That motherfucker good though.
Now, for congressional Republicans, this was a rare moment where they didn't claim to not see the post or say that they don't respond to the president's tweets. Instead, there was confirmation words like wrong, offensive, inexcusable, and yes, racist. Is the sole black Republican in the Senate, Tim Scott. He wrote, "Praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it." Now, you note there he says, "the most racist," indicating that there have been previous incidents. Some of those we know Senator Scott has criticized the White House for before, including when the president reposted a video of someone who was yelling "white power." Senator Scott called that.
Who's up location on these folks, man?
Trump told certain Democrats, to go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came.
What's up location,
Senator
man?
Scott said that was racially offensive. And after the president's very fine people on both sides comments, Senator Scott said this.
After Charlottesville, you said the president is not a racist. but
Not
he
too
is
bad,
racially
huh?
insensitive.
Yes,
Is that still what you believe?
absolutely. Yeah, the president is not a racist, but is he racially insensitive? I think the answer is yes.
Not too bad.
Now, it shouldn't just be on Senator Tim Congressman Scott had condemned these posts and called them out for what they are. Yet his voice certainly resonates when he does, especially within the West Wing. When the president was asked tonight about that post, not just why it was posted and how it was removed and who did it, he was also asked whether or not he'll apologize for what he said. He made clear in his answer.
Mr. President, a number of
He ain't gonna apologize.
to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I am, by the way, the least.
How you gonna apologize? You can't accept accountability.
Long time, as far as I'm concerned.
Joining me tonight, my sources are former New York Congressman, Democrat Mondaire Jones, former New Orleans
Okay,
Mayor,
what we doing?
to the Harris campaign, Mitch Landrieu,
Yeah.
as well as the former Chief of Staff to Vice President Mike Pence, Mark Short, and Mondaire Jones. When you see the president's post, I mean, do you want him to apologize for that?
I don't know if he should apologize, but I don't think it would mean anything because it wouldn't be. easy.
Okay.
This is exactly who this president is and has.
Hands
been
on, though.
for apparently his adult life, if he lived off long enough to study that subject when he was in the real estate profession here in New York. When you think about the way he started his political career, which is how you open this segment, this further is, accusing then President
That's some
Obama
bad
of
writing.
not being from here.
Writing
not
this,
being,
I ain't no
a
shit
US
writing
citizen.
like that.
When you think about the way that he described white supremacists who marched in Charlottesville
Goddamn.
as very fine people, when you think about the fact that
Bit
he's
writing.
trying to still push this myth that there was voter fraud in the 2020 presidential election, and he's specifically
I ain't never seen no
about
writing like that.
voters
That
who
ain't
were
no
black and
writing
brown
right
who
there.
delivered the presidency
That's
to,
something else.
to Joe Biden. When you think about the fact that every time in this country we have seen an unarmed black man gunned down by law enforcement, he has never been able to bring himself to criticize that law enforcement official, but rather has vilified the dead victim. This is part of a pattern. And when he says that he's the least racist president in a long time, he doesn't even believe that. Because look at who he surrounds himself with. We got people like Stephen Miller, who are running the show and who are virulently racist. And that is a reflection of his policies throughout.
Mitch Landrieu, what stood out to you from what you heard from the president
The
tonight?
brother's
He was
smart.
saying, there's a video about voter fraud, whoever he sent, the president made clear tonight, he saw this video, sent it to someone to post on his Truth Social, as he put it, and obviously he says didn't watch to the end, and then whoever he sent it to didn't watch to the end and just posted it. Do you believe that?
How could you? The President of the United States, Donald Trump, is a racist. There's no question about it. He has been his entire life. In this administration, the fish rots from the head. I think that post is disgusting. It's vile. It should be unacceptable to everybody in America. And while I appreciate some of my Republican friends stepping up and, saying, oh my gosh, I'm so surprised, I would like them to do something about limiting his authority. Basically, what you just saw the president do was deny, and then he made an excuse.
Still face
And then
that.
he blamed voter fraud, and then he said, "Go to hell. I'm not going to apologize." If he were a university president, if he were the president of the country, if he were
I know what that face say.
a major corporation, he would have been sacked already. And it said something about his political friends. that they
Still
were
face
calling
that.
him to ask for this. I saw Donald Trump give a speech the other day for 40 minutes, and he sounded like a lunatic. And I think this guy, who is a bad guy, has finally lost his cookies. I don't think the country should tolerate this, and I don't think this should go away. And even if he did apologize, I agree with the congressman, it wouldn't mean anything because he doesn't believe it. He has no sense of sorrow about any harm that he does to anybody else, and he's abused his power in a way that I think is unacceptable.
Mark Short, you worked inside the White House in the first term. You know what it's like when moments like this happened and people were kind of scrambling when the president has posted something online. What do you make of how, not only did the White House come out tonight and say it was a staffer who erroneously posted it,
Yeah, like he
hearing
froze.
people have access to
Like
the
he
president's social media
buffering.
account, and I'll note it came at 11:44 p.m. Eastern when he was in the residence. But what do you make of the press secretary came out and
Is it a
defended
picture or a
it.
video? Is he alive?
They changed the story a couple times. I would imagine that the same staffer is the one who posted the
Fuck.
scuffle a couple years ago in the middle of the night. But I think the process
The
actually,
fuck?
despite the mayor's assertions, I actually think the
Man, scratch your face or something.
is the way it happened. I think that the president he has been phenomenal at using
He
social
turned
media.
into a
But
photograph.
there's always this desire and need to put content out in ways that can be really harmful. And I think this was
That's
obviously a big
crazy.
mistake, but they get all sorts of content
God
embedded in
damn.
them that they look at and put out, at all hours of the night. And I think that probably, I don't know this, Caitlin, you might know, but with Dan being married last weekend, I don't know if he's around, but he would be the one who would filter it. And if Scavino's not,
Blink,
then
nigga.
I'm assuming that the
Shit.
president did just tell somebody to put it out. It's a huge mistake, and he should apologize for it.
It is kind of a lost
God,
scenario,
that shit
though, that the
weird as
president
hell.
is
I
supposed
didn't
to
want
be
to blink or
big
nothing.
about voter fraud that doesn't exist, and this chart, that looks like the meme trying to explain all the crazy conspiracies. If that is actually the explanation, that he was so focused on that he did not notice the racist part of it. I mean, is that, how does that land with you?
No, it's completely implausible. And we know that the president has engaged in the trafficking of other racist imagery. So this is not something where he deserves the benefit of the doubt. And we have to stop telling this lie to ourselves that the president of the United States is not racist. Because once we start to tell the truth, we can actually then begin to do something about it.
We all are.
I'm tired. I
That's the hidden
appreciate
truth. We all are
Senator
racist
Scott's
in all
courage.
the way.
He was in rare form today when he said
It is what it
that the
is.
president was wrong to do something. And obviously, I wish that more of his colleagues on the Republican side of the aisle, in the Senate and in the House.
And he was the first to speak out, I believe.
He was, and I know that it's personal for him, as it should be. But it shouldn't be that